At 62, Quentin Tarantino opens up about the 6 actors he hated working with the most. Known for his bold and fearless approach to filmmaking, Tarantino has always spoken his mind, even if it meant rubbing people the wrong way. In this revealing moment, the director shares surprising details about his least favorite stars and why these relationships turned sour. The truth behind these Hollywood feuds is not just shocking, it also sheds light on the intense personalities and struggles that shaped some of the biggest movies ever made. Before we dive into video, please subscribe to our channel. Quentin Tarantino's rise to fame was not an easy one. Born in 1963 in Knoxville, Tennessee, he was raised in Los Angeles, where he developed a love for cinema. Unlike many of Hollywood elite, Tarantino didn't attend film school. Instead, he spent his early years working at a video rental store. There, he spent countless hours watching films, learning from the greats, and developing his own unique style. Despite his passion for filmmaking, Tarantino struggled financially and had to work several odd jobs to survive. His path wasn't paved with glamour, it was a journey filled with rejections and uncertainty. In his early years, Tarantino wrote scripts but found it difficult to get his foot in the door. His big break came when he was able to secure funding for Reservoir Dogs, 1992, a film that would put him on the map. However, even with his breakthrough success, Tarantino faced immense pressure. Critics were skeptical about his unconventional style, and some questioned whether his violent and explicit content would be accepted by mainstream audiences. Pulp Fiction, 1994, was another turning point. Not only did it cement his reputation as a filmmaker, but it also faced significant hurdles. The film's unconventional narrative structure and sharp dialogue were seen as risky, and many wonder whether it would succeed at the box office. Tarantino had to fight for his artistic vision, but his persistence paid off. Even after achieving success, his uncompromising attitude often led to conflicts with Hollywood's bigwigs and actors. He was determined to make films his way, regardless of industry norms. This drive and determination to stay true to himself ultimately shaped his career and his iconic status in the film industry. Tarantino's struggles only made him stronger, and they continue to define his work today. Now we talk about 6 names he dislikes the most, and why. Number 1. Bruce Willis. Quentin Tarantino's relationship with Bruce Willis became tense during the making of Pulp Fiction. While the two were professional and collaborated well initially, things started to sour due to differences in their approach to film and character portrayal. Tarantino has often been open about his struggles with Willis's commitment to the role, particularly in his performance as Butch Coolidge, the boxer in Pulp Fiction. Tarantino felt that Bruce wasn't fully invested in the film and that his star power sometimes overshadowed the essence of the character. Willis's behavior on set was not always easy for Tarantino to work with. There were reports that the actor, known for his action hero roles, was not receptive to the unconventional storytelling and the oddball nature of Tarantino's films. He often wanted a more traditional approach, which was contrary to the director's vision. This led to some creative differences that made the collaboration difficult at times. Despite their professional differences, Tarantino has never publicly bashed Willis, but it's clear that there were unresolved tensions during filming. It's believed that Willis's diva-like behavior, along with his tendency to make decisions based on his own brand rather than the film's needs, created some friction with Tarantino's vision. Even though the film was a massive success, the behind-the-scenes dynamic wasn't as smooth as it appeared. While both Tarantino and Willis went on to have successful careers, their relationship was strained during the making of Pulp Fiction. This strained interaction was less about personal animosity and more about artistic conflict. Willis wanted control over his character, while Tarantino had a specific vision he did not want to compromise. Despite this, Pulp Fiction remains one of Willis's most iconic roles, and Tarantino's sharp filmmaking style still left its mark on the actor's career. Number 2. Uma Thurman. Quentin Tarantino and Uma Thurman share one of the most complex relationships in Hollywood, blending admiration with occasional tension. Thurman, often considered Tarantino's muse, has worked with him on several films, including Pulp Fiction, 1994, and the Kill Bill series, 2003 to 2004. While their collaboration produced some of the most iconic moments in cinema, their relationship has not always been smooth. During the making of Kill Bill, their partnership faced a significant strain. One of the most well-known and troubling incidents occurred when Thurman was involved in a dangerous car stunt. She was asked to drive a vehicle at high speed on a winding road, but due to unsafe conditions, she ended up suffering injuries, including a neck injury. Tarantino's response to the incident was widely criticized. He initially pushed her to continue even after the accident, and their relationship became strained in the aftermath. Thurman has spoken publicly about feeling betrayed by the way the situation was handled, particularly Tarantino's insistence on continuing the scene, despite her visible discomfort. However, despite this fallout, Thurman and Tarantino's bond was ultimately mended. Tarantino later admitted that he felt responsible for the accident and deeply regretted not protecting her better. He has publicly apologized, and they have since reconciled. Thurman has also expressed that their professional relationship remains strong and that she continues to trust him as a director. Their relationship is a mixture of creative partnership and emotional complexity. Though their collaboration brought out some of Thurman's best performances, particularly in the Kill Bill series, it also exposed the personal and professional challenges of working with a director as uncompromising as Tarantino. Despite their occasional struggles, the bond they share is undeniably powerful and remains one of the most important in both their careers. Number 3. John Travolta. Quentin Tarantino's collaboration with John Travolta on Pulp Fiction, 1994, is one of the most iconic in film history, but their relationship has had its ups and downs. Tarantino played a key role in reviving Travolta's career, which had been in decline at the time. Travolta's portrayal of Vincent Vega in Pulp Fiction was pivotal, and it re-established him as a leading man in Hollywood after years of less successful films. However, despite the success of Pulp Fiction, the dynamic between the two wasn't always harmonious. One of the sources of tension was their differing approaches to acting. Tarantino is known for his intense focus on dialogue and his unique narrative style, while Travolta, though a talented actor, was often used to a more traditional approach to filmmaking. Their professional relationship had occasional conflicts over creative differences. Tarantino's insistence on improvisation and his expectation of perfection often put pressure on the actor, leading to moments of frustration on set. While Travolta and Tarantino didn't have a public falling out, their relationship seemed strained at times, particularly when it came to subsequent projects. Tarantino initially didn't work with Travolta again until Jackie Brown, 1997, another film that marked a resurgence in Travolta's career. Although their professional rapport was restored, the awkwardness between them lingered, with some reports suggesting that Travolta felt less trusted in some of Tarantino's later projects. However, by the time they reunited for Kill Bill, Vol. 2, 2004, and Inglourious Basterds, 2009, their relationship had evolved into mutual respect. Travolta has frequently praised Tarantino for revitalizing his career, and though they had their differences in the past, their collaboration ultimately became a key part of both their legacies. Number 4. Harvey Keitel. Harvey Keitel's relationship with Quentin Tarantino has been one of mutual respect, but also one marked by creative tension. Keitel, a seasoned actor known for his intense performances, was one of the first major stars to back Tarantino's vision. Starring in Reservoir Dogs, 1992, Tarantino's breakthrough film. While their professional collaboration helped establish Tarantino's reputation, it wasn't without challenges. One of the key sources of tension between Keitel and Tarantino was their differing views on creative control. Keitel, with years of experience in the industry, was known for his strong sense of ownership over his roles. This was in contrast to Tarantino's vision of allowing actors a certain freedom, but with a rigid adherence to his own style and dialogue. As a result, there were moments when Keitel's ego clashed with Tarantino's desire for control over the direction of the film. Keitel, despite his respect for Tarantino's work, was not always willing to compromise on his character's interpretation, and this sometimes led to disagreements during filming. However, Keitel's role in Reservoir Dogs was pivotal. He played Mr. White, a character that became iconic in Tarantino's early work. Despite the conflicts, their professional relationship ultimately turned out to be a success, as the film launched both Keitel's career as well as Tarantino's as a director. Tarantino has often acknowledged Keitel's significant contribution to his career, calling the actor a true believer in his vision. Even if their relationship wasn't always smooth. Their clashes, particularly over the nature of the role and the film's tone, show how two strong-willed creative minds can sometimes struggle to find common ground. Despite this, Keitel's willingness to work with Tarantino again in future projects reflects a deep respect between the two. Even with their differences, Keitel remains one of the actors who helped elevate Tarantino's early work to legendary status. Number 5. Leonardo DiCaprio. Quentin Tarantino's relationship with Leonardo DiCaprio has been one of both admiration and tension, particularly during their collaboration on Django Unchained, 2012, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, 2019. DiCaprio, known for his dedication to his craft, and Tarantino, famous for his exacting style and unconventional methods, had moments of friction behind the scenes. In Django Unchained, DiCaprio portrayed Calvin Candy, a ruthless plantation owner, a role that required him to embrace Tarantino's sharp, often unsettling dialogue and intense, violent scenes. Tarantino pushed DiCaprio to take risks with the character, which led to some intense moments of discomfort on set. DiCaprio, known for being a perfectionist, sometimes struggled with Tarantino's boundary-pushing approach to acting. There were reports of tension between the director's methods and DiCaprio's need for more traditional preparation. Despite this, DiCaprio delivered a memorable performance, though the pressure of Tarantino's high expectations often led to a stressful working environment. Their collaboration continued with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where DiCaprio played Rick Dalton, a fading TV star in the late 1960s. Though their working relationship was more established at this point, the tension remained. Tarantino's style of long takes, improvisation, and meticulous focus on small details occasionally clashed with DiCaprio's desire for a more structured, traditional approach to acting. Despite these differences, the result was another critically acclaimed performance from DiCaprio, and he received a lot of praise for his role in the film. While Tarantino and DiCaprio's professional relationship has been far from perfect, there's an undeniable respect between the two. DiCaprio has repeatedly spoken about his admiration for Tarantino's unique style and vision. Their creative tensions only seem to fuel the intensity and brilliance of their collaborations, proving that even the strongest personalities can come together to create cinematic magic. Number 6. Michael Madsen. Michael Madsen and Quentin Tarantino's relationship is one that began with great potential but ultimately faced significant challenges due to Madsen's personal struggles and difficult on-set behavior. Madsen, who played the iconic role of Mr. Blonde in Reservoir Dogs, 1992, was initially one of Tarantino's go-to actors, known for his intense, often chilling performances. His portrayal of the sadistic character in Tarantino's breakout film cemented his place in the director's early cinematic world, and they worked together several times after that. However, as Madsen's career continued, his relationship with Tarantino began to sour. One major issue that arose was Madsen's inconsistency and unreliability during filming. Reports from various sets indicated that Madsen's attitude toward his roles and his fellow actors became increasingly difficult. He was often described as erratic and unpredictable on set, which didn't mesh well with Tarantino's highly structured and demanding filmmaking style. There were also rumors of Madsen's struggles with personal issues, including substance abuse, which affected his performance and professionalism during key projects. Despite his undeniable talent, Madsen's behavior led to tensions with Tarantino. Although they continued to collaborate on Kill Bill, 2003-2004, there were fewer interactions between the two in later years, as Tarantino began working with other actors who fit better within his creative process. Madsen was not as involved in Tarantino's later works, and the strained dynamic between them became evident. While Tarantino has always respected Madsen's talent, the difficulties in working together caused their professional relationship to fade. Madsen's erratic behavior and unreliability likely led to fewer roles in Tarantino's films, and his once prominent place in the director's world diminished. The actor's fall from grace in Hollywood reflects a larger theme in Tarantino's career: his insistence on a high level of professionalism and commitment that eventually led to strained relationships with actors who couldn't meet those expectations. Quentin Tarantino's career has been defined by bold choices, both in his films and the relationships he has formed with actors. While his collaborations have led to some of the most iconic films in cinema history, they have also been marked by creative tensions and clashes with certain stars. Despite these challenges, Tarantino's uncompromising vision has made him one of the most influential directors in Hollywood. His ability to work through conflicts and push boundaries shows that even in an industry filled with egos and disagreements, staying true to one's artistic vision can lead to undeniable success and lasting impact.